an emotional time.
Mm-hmm.
Maisie Collins, she said, who's the first person you want to see after lockdown?
After lockdown, nobody. I want it to stay this way. It's boring.
Out there.
It's obviously it's boring and stuff, but the world needs it, bro. The world needs it.
Yeah.
Moving so fast in this day and age, it's like you let go of the wheel, you can't get back on. You know, so it's like you're just doing whatever you can to just stay latched on to anything that's moving and like just slow down a bit. So hopefully I can keep this pace going, and I'm not in a rush to see anyone, because isolation sometimes requires your elevation sometimes requires your isolation.
Cool.
Dropping some bars, you know what I'm saying? Make sure people are there.
I tell you.
Those are the words of Anthony Joshua. He says he would like the world to stay the way it is now in isolation because of, as he said, a lot of times you have to isolate yourself to elevate yourself. And a lot of that is true. Me counterpunching that part, a friend of mine asked me, funny, a friend had asked me, you know, how do you feel about it? And I'm like, I love it. And she's like, really? And I'm just like, well, I mean, it just shows you a lot about yourself. And to piggyback, you know, when you're in this world, everything's moving so fast. Okay? A lot of times you're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing this, you're doing that. And a lot of times in my life, I don't think that I'm busier than Anthony Joshua, but I'm pretty busy. I'm either in Austin, then Atlanta, or New York, or Washington, D.C., or Brazil, or, you know, Mexico, Canada. I'm different places all over the place all the time. One place, oh, then I got to go this place. I don't have, or I didn't have, should I say, that time when I can sit at home and absolutely do nothing. You know, even here, you know, it's the gym, or it's the spa, or it's class, you know, or it's, you know, it's something that requires your time. Or you got to meet somebody here at this time. You got to meet somebody there at that time. Oh yeah, that's right. I got to drive to New Orleans, or I got to do this, or I got to do that. Oh, that's the day. Oh yeah, that's right. You know, so it's a lot of things that consumed your time. You know, and a lot of people are losing their mind because they're addicted to the routine that kept their life worth meaning. Okay. And, you know, and it's also one of those things where I believe now that the divorce rate is going to go sky high. You know, it's going to go sky high. Why? Because there's a lot of people. You have two people, you know, husband and wife, or wife and wife, or husband and husband these days. But you have two people that live in the same household, right? And in that 5 to 6 days, sometimes 7 days, those people are going somewhere 10 to 11 hours away from home, right? Now, let's say like times like that, they both did something. They would come home, meet each other, greet each other, sometimes eat together, right? If they ain't ate on the go somewhere, then go to sleep or whatnot. Get up the next day, do it all over again, right? Well, what happens if that job is non-essential that they were doing? One's a casino worker, the other one's a teacher, right? Now they're around each other 7 days a week. Now they're knowing who they really are. Now they're spending enough adequate time with each other to know who they are, to see if this is the person I want to be with. They're probably driving each other crazy because a lot of times they didn't know each other in the first place. Okay, so as far as someone like Anthony Joshua that has promotions and endorsements and things like that, and he's ripping and running, you don't really have time to enjoy anything because you're constantly going to the next thing. You might look back just for a second. Yeah, I did like that. I liked Italy, you know, or I like Spain, or I like this part of the, you know, Saudi Arabia, right? Or Dubai, or wherever, you know what I mean? But if you're only there 2 or 3 days, then you're back on a plane going here to do this. You're not really enjoying stuff. You're too busy. Rest is the key, you know? And someone like Anthony Joshua, I can understand why he says what he says. Other people are losing their minds at home, but he's like, because being a unified heavyweight champion, that consists of a lot of duties and a lot of things that's on your plate. A lot of things you pick up. A lot of people want to interview you and ask you about the next fight or your ambitions, or all types of array of questions in meetings and things of that nature. You have a lot of responsibility that requires a lot of time. Now that the time is slowed down, you actually have time to relax and enjoy yourself, and to enjoy the things around you. Okay. And that time is rest, but that isolation is also, time to see who you really are. That's why those two people living in a household are driving each other crazy, because this is probably the first time they ever had to sit down and look at each other. You know what I mean? I don't like you. Do you have to breathe on every breath? That type of stuff. Divorce rate rises. And he said, like Anthony Joshua, the world needs it. Maybe it does. Who knows? But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Anthony Joshua's statements. Do you think it should stay this way according to Anthony Joshua? Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.